you know, like, conspiracies are real sometimes. And, like, I just wanted you to hear this, because something similar to this happened to me once. And I said I just witnessed a real life conspiracy, and at that time I wasn't into conspiracy. All my whole life I've been into aliens and just kind of conspiracy, and I never really cared or thought much of it. But I remember one day I did see a conspiracy with the government one day, and it was so obvious, and I knew it was conspiracy. And I told everybody, like, there's a conspiracy. And that was like, and so everybody knew it. And so it, like, wasn't nothing but a thing. Like, everyone knew it. The conspiracy never worked. And so it eventually, who knows where that conspiracy leads now. But I was listening to Alex Jones here, and I was hearing a very similar tale, that, and so it sounded a lot similar, not exact, but a lot similar to something that happened to me. So listen.
In times of national emergency. So this was 95, and they were on 17 American cities in times of national emergency. So this was 95, and they were on a yellow card, the equivalent of the back, like your checkbook, that yellow card that's in the back, and
sure.
Every one of us still are upon American citizens that's elated. Question. To keep in mind, 19, 95, 96, it's elated. The facility with it, medical unit,
Sorry.
we received an involuntary survey. In 95, our unit, and I was in a medical unit, we received an involuntary survey form from our platoon sergeant. You could not leave the facility with it. Matter of fact, you couldn't even leave the gymnasium with it. It was yes or no question. To keep in mind, 19, 95, 96 at the latest. The questions were as follows. The ones that I remember. Would you fire upon American citizens armed? Would you fire upon American citizens unarmed? Would you quarantine American cities in times of national emergency? So this was 95, and they were on a yellow card, the equivalent of the back, like your checkbook, that yellow card that's in the back, and
sure.
Every one of us filled it out. So I would like to use your platform right now to reach out to all my previous veteran friends that know what I'm talking about. This was mid-Missouri.
So as you can tell...
Well, the conspiracy I kind of seen was, it was in a jail, and everybody got these pink cards, and only the really bad, like, people that would rob or burglar, like armed robbers, they'd get this, like, little pink slip, and it would say, "You're getting out of jail." And if you so happen to commit more robberies, your convictions will combine into the one, and you won't be charged again. And when you are sentenced, you'll be sentenced consecutively for whichever charge, and each additional charge will take a year off of your other charges. So it was like, the way it said, it was like, if you commit more robberies and you lump them up together, you'll get less time and you can't go to jail. and it was like, we need a new jail, and we want you to like scare people and rob them and murder them. So, you know, it's like, we're looking for the hardest hardcore criminals to go out and spread fear, and you won't go to jail. And that's what it kind of said, and it was this pink slip. And everybody with hard shit was getting them, and I didn't get one, but one of the guys that was next to me got one, and he's like, man, you should read this shit, this is fucked up. Then I took it and I was reading this thing, and I was like, dude, this is fucked up. And he's like, yeah, it says I'm getting out, and it says like to commit more crimes practically. And it's like, you won't go to jail. So they were keeping all the anybody that had like a really stupid crime, they would keep those people, especially if you were like white or something, or looked like you might have some money, you know. So they kept all the people that looked like they had money. Then all the people that were like hardened criminals, they just let them go and said no bail, commit more crimes. And so I said that was a conspiracy, you know. Another one while I was in there is half of the jail was off limits, and so sometimes they would like parade us around the jail, and I don't know what they were doing, and you would see these like different layers of the jail, and like you might go through the women's section, and then you might go through the gay section, and then you get back to where like they had built new parts of the jail, and then a new jail, and then I just remember like they were talking about how many people the jail would house, and then how that connected to people getting out. Half the jail was empty, and then they built a new jail right next to it that they also, we could see the outside of it, but no one ever seen the inside. And I would ask people like, have you been in there? What does it look like? And they're like, yeah, it's weird. There's like gardens and shit in there, but no one goes in there. It's brand new. They just built it. It's called like long-term family stay facility. And I'm like, have you ever heard of FEMA? And they're like, no. And I talked to the people that built it and everything, and one guy's like, man, I built this place. And I'm like, so it doesn't seem to, I said, does it seem funny that you built this place and now you're here? And I said, did anything funny happen while you're building it? Like, and they're like, no, the only funny thing is that long-term family facility over there with the gardens in the middle, and there's like a shopping center, and it's like, you know, why would they have a shopping center in a jail with a garden, and they never use it? And it seemed like they were preparing to like put families in these FEMA camps, and the FEMA camps were called jail, just jail. And so half the jail was empty, and they kept saying the jail's full. And by full, they mean they don't want to hire any more guards. That means full. So if you have 3 guards in your jail, and at full capacity it would have 20, and it would have 5,000 prisoners and 20 guards. But if you got it on low capacity and you got 3 guards and 500 prisoners, it's like you don't have a full jail. If your jail holds 5,000 people and you have 5,000 cells to hold them all in, then your jail's not full. So they kept saying, the whole conspiracy was is they wanted more jails, new jails. And so they're like, okay, you know, I was there, they said the jail like held, let's just say, I don't have the number, but let's just say it was 5,000. And then they want more jails. It sounds like, you know, in America there's more people in jail than all the world's countries combined, of all the criminals of the whole world. There's more people in America, and there's not that many people. There's more people in one city in China than there is in all of America. Like, that would be like saying New York has more people in it than the rest of the world. It's like, you know, like one city in China has like 10 times the people than all America. And they don't have nowhere near as many people in jail as we do. And so the whole conspiracy was to get people to rob, rape, murder, let them go so they can keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. And then putting like just people for the pettiest shit in jail. And making more jails and more jails and more jails and more jails. And it just seemed like a jail conspiracy. And then the way they handled you, like the way they actually like would handle you like animals, and then watching the whole process, where they would charge you with nothing. They would be like, oh, you spit on the sidewalk, you're going to jail. Then when they got you there, they treated you as if you were a murderer, and you would be in there with murderers and different things. And really there's more to it. Like, there's a different way to explain it. I can't explain it. But really it seemed like a massive, huge, crazy conspiracy. Like, it seemed like there was a conspiracy to build more jails when they have plenty, and they have plenty of room. And so what I was fascinated by this. And so I felt like there was a conspiracy. So my whole time there was like researching, how many people does the jail hold? How many jails are they going to build? You know, what's their plan? And then trying to come up with an idea of what they're doing. Like, no one's going to tell you what they're doing, but their actions speak louder than their words. It's like, what are they doing? And the best I could come up with is they have enough jail to house every man, woman, and child in America. They have enough cells and enough jail space to house every man, woman, everybody. And these weird long-term prison cells with gardens in the middle and a shopping center inside of it, those were meant for middle class, upper class families. So they're not as freaked out. And so it is a prison planet, like you live in a prison. And I also was told that every city has a circle around it. And everything in that circle is actually considered the prison. And when they made those circles, the prison was inside the circle. And it's like now when you look at these circles, there's a lot of growth on the outside of the circles now. It was all in the middle before. Now they would have to go and make a new circle around. But what I was told that what they do is on those circles is when they finally, if they ever decide to throw every man, woman, and child in prison, the insides of those circles are the prison, and the circles will be kept in a loop, and it's almost like Grand Theft Auto when you can't get to the other islands or whatever bullshit. And that's what, if they do, that's what they're gonna do. And so I was told, even when that happens, they might not throw everybody in jail, but they might implement the prison cities where you're not allowed out of the city, and people will be brought back into the, people outside the cities will be brought into the cities to be kept, and the cities will be big prison cities, and no one will be allowed out. But I was told when they do that, no one will even know it, no one will be able to care. They'll be like zombies. You'll be like, the news will be like, oh, the cities are shut down, no one can leave the cities, and people will be like, oh, cool, whatever, sounds great. And just life will be like normal. Like they won't ever know that they are in a prison. Like you live in a prison and you don't even know it. Like you're there right now. Like so my understanding of looking at the jail, being in it, understanding how many people and what they're doing, and seeing that type of conspiracy, the best I could come up with is they're building jails that house every man, woman, and child. And it really freaked me out one day when there's a song and it says, they're building a prison, they're building a prison for every one of us. And it's a very popular song on the radio. And it's called They're Building a Prison, or I don't know what it's called, I forget, but the song goes, it's like they're building a prison, they're building a prison, they're building a prison for everyone. Let me look it up real quick. It's just a dumb song, but they're building a prison. Yeah, System of a Down, they're building a prison. Let's listen.
When you're up for anything,
They're trying to build a prison.
you need the only
Trying
one
to
that's
build
bold
a
enough to
prison.
join you.
Follow the rights.
Triple filtered, smooth finish. Top shelf.
I think this is it. Prison song. I'm not sure. I think this is it though. Yeah, this is it, I think. Okay, it's System of a Down prison song. I'll probably get a disclaimer or copyright if I play it. follow the right movement. You clamped down with your iron fist. Drugs became conveniently available for all the kids. Following the rights movement, you clamped down your iron fist. I buy my crack, I buy my bitch. Right here in Hollywood, nearly 2 million Americans are incarcerated in prison. They're trying to build a prison. They're trying to build a prison, another prison system. Minor drug offenders fill your prisons. You won't even flinch. All your taxes paying for your wars. The percentage of Americans in prison has doubled since 1985. They're trying to build a prison. And so I think this song was, they discovered the same thing I did, that they're building a prison for every man, woman, and child. And so this is my song, this is the song that I would use to describe my conspiracy. And it says they're trying to build a prison. And from what I know, I mean, that's kind of scary. Like, they have a cell for every man, woman, and child, and from what I know, they are 100% ready to put everybody in them. I seen these things called long-term prison cells, and it was called like long-term family cell, and it had gardens in the middle and a shopping center, and you're not allowed in there. Nobody knows about it, nobody talks about it, and the people, anybody that knew about it said, like, they don't use it, it doesn't seem right, and they've never used it, they'll never use it ever. They build it, and they usually build them right next to all the jails, and so they planned on using them, but they're not using them. So it's like, when you look into some of this stuff, you can see the realness that just hits you. Like they have a jail for every man, woman, and child. Like, they're dying to put people there. They're trying to come up with any reason to throw people there. I've seen them do, some of the people that I've seen that they try to get, they do what's called it's either a forfeit or a self thing where you didn't commit any crime. This is just something I seen first. Some people that were in jail, they said they didn't commit any crime, but they felt like they needed, like, it's like you sign this little piece of paper that's like, you're bad, you should go to jail. And so you're like, yes, I'm bad. And so they bully you, and they make you kind of like sign this paper that says, yes, I'm bad, I'm not really committing of any crime, but you're signing yourself into jail. And so I seen with another guy, one guy they did that to, and he went to jail, and they kept making him like sign this paper saying like he wants to be there, and they like would force him to do it real weird. And it was like, it looked like Nazis, like the way it was going down looked like a Nazi. And I thought, well, that's just, he got himself in some kind of predicament there. But then another guy was homeless, and when he signed in, it was like, I need a place to stay. Can I stay in jail for the night? And so they would give him a place to stay. And it was kind of weird, because it's like, wait a minute, you're going to jail? And so when they first did it, nobody would do it. And then they slowly said, well, you can get drunk too. You can come in and be drunk, and you can stay and sober up and then go. So say, like, you know, you just went to a party, and, you know, or, you know, and you're drunk, and you need just, you know, you can come here. Or, no, you can party here. Like, you can, this part of this jail over here is drink friendly. Bring your drinks in and drink them. And so then I was like, I thought, like, you know, like, just because you can drink, does that make you feel free? Like, what makes you feel free? And I thought, a lot of people, they feel free because they can drink Budweiser. And it's like, that's the only thing they drink. And it's like, it seems like a prison. And it's like, you could go to prison and drink. And so then, like, that kind of went on, and so people started, like, doing it. And so eventually it became like a party. Like, it was like Tommy's Holiday FEMA camp. Like, it's fun, come party with us in jail. So it was like this big slumber party for everybody to, like, go to jail. And so it was like fun to be in jail at that point. Like, let government take care of you. You can just live in their jail. And it's like, you don't know it, you're actually there right now in a jail, and like, you don't even know it. And it's like, I've been trying to get people to wake up, but I'm gonna go, because I don't want to copyright this video. But then I'm gonna come back and play the song and kind of like be like, yeah, they're trying to build a prison, because that's actually pretty cool. I need to hear that song because it reminds me of all that.